Welcome to Arch Systems here at IPC Apex Expo. I'm delighted to be joined by Geddy Make and Andrew Scheuermann. Nice to see you, gentlemen.
Yeah, great to be here.
Okay, so you're one of the success stories over the last few years. You burst onto the scene, I guess, with your data systems that have been deployed at a lot of the flex factories around the world. You've taken that and developed it quite a bit further since then, and you've got some software as a service offerings that you're putting out into the marketplace. So let's talk a little bit about them, how they work, and how they're developing.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thanks for the question. So, as you mentioned, we started with machine connectivity. Mm-hmm. This industry is an incredible amount of data. There's some of the most amazing machines, but many different types.
Right.
Everyone's kind of aware of that. They don't talk the same language, and
Correct.
so you can't have a line that's only ASM or only Koyoung or only anything because of all the machine types. Mm-hmm. And not to even mention when you go from SMT to the back end, the other parts of the factory. So it started with us with writing drivers or connectors to all the different machines in their native protocols. We're fans of CFX. Our co-founder Tim is driving CFX. Mm-hmm. We want to see standards everywhere, but they're not yet there today.
Right.
And that doesn't block you. You can talk to the native protocols of machines and get all the data up. So you said that, how we had a lot of success in deploying. Our system is live on more than 100 factories. Around 8,000 machines are continually connected to the cloud. Mm-hmm. And then what that enabled, you were saying next about our SaaS offering. Mm-hmm. So because we have so many machines connected to the cloud, which we can then manage the uptime of, we have this growing pool of data of really what's happening in factories. Right. You know, what actual defects are there, what actual bottlenecks are there, yeah. And that's allowed us to start building what we call insights on top.
Right. So you're getting all this rich data coming off these systems, which is now allowing you to get better visualization on trends and things that are happening in the industry, both with equipment and possibly also with components even in different materials. So explain to us, we've got a diagram behind us here which shows the cloud, and we have the data sharing here, which is fairly understandable. Insights, that is the system you launched about a year ago, I think it was, which is modular. Maybe, Gadi, do you want to sort of tell us a little bit about that?
So regarding to the Insight, Andrew was mentioned, we have different type of machines, so data is collecting there. And since 1 year, we are building the Insight library, and this is based on experience from our end, what I think it's important, what is the valuable KPIs, what you should monitor based on our experience. So we build our own library, but getting in contact with customers, we improve that. Right. I want to see X in a different way. Okay, that's a good idea. So we do adopt to that and change that and make more compatible. As much as we work with that and share with customers, it's getting better and better and better.
Right. So are the insights modular? I mean, do they, for example, take an area of the process like the printer and the SPI and concentrate on that as a focus, and then another section might be the post-placement AOI and the pick and place? Is that essentially how you're packaging them?
Yeah, we've grouped them as assembly insights and quality and test insights, but really they are exactly grouped by the machine, as you said, because you've got the pick and place process, the inspection process, and that rich data lets you say a certain amount of things. I guess the other thing I wanted to emphasize is, okay, what's the difference between a dashboard and an insight? And we've probably prototyped thousands of dashboards at this point. Mm-hmm. So for us, in a way, an insight's like a good dashboard, but it's really one of all the 1,000 plus you could have made. This is the one that really solves a problem that the factory in fact has.
Right.
So embedded in it is this understanding that this is one of your top problems, and this is the right way to look at it. Right. So that's the difference.
Okay. So smaller companies signing up to this, maybe a tier 3 company or something like that, or a tier 2. Is it part of the agreement when they sign up that that you're allowed to share that data or add that data to the pool?
Yeah. So customers can work with us without adding data to the pool,
Okay.
if that's essential for them. We were talking a little before this about the defense industry, for example. There's certainly industries where data sharing has a different weight to it, right? And so that's not important. But our default offering is we ask for anonymous and aggregated data sharing, and that lets us give the lowest cost possible to our customers because they're contributing to this kind of collective knowledge that we're building up.
Right.
And what they get in exchange is just right off the bat, we have 40 plus of these insights in our library and growing rapidly. We had one 12 months ago. Right off the bat, they get the knowledge of others, right? Like a bunch of the world-class process engineers have thought about that. This is a great way to look at attrition. This is a great way to look at bottlenecks. And so collectively, I think that's exciting, right? To just make manufacturing better together.
But I think just in the very nature of what you're doing, though, you must also be picking up insights as to which machines on the production line are more efficient and work better. But is that something that you want to share with anybody?
We, all the makers of equipment and the MESs as well, they're our partners. We're an ecosystem company. There are for sure differences that matter, right, in terms of performance. Our job is to surface those in a neutral way, right? So we have no skin in the game of this machine should win, this machine should win, this MES, that MES. And we hope to make more partnerships with these companies, but in a way that furthers the whole ecosystem. So our tool surfaces that so the customer can see, in my particular context, I'm having more problems with machine A versus machine B. Now, does that mean they decide to buy more of machine B? Does that mean they go to the maker of machine A and say, let's fix this together? We've seen both,
Right.
But that's a tool that they have at their disposal, and we work with everyone. So.
Right. Well, I see.
If I can add on that, we are actually looking at the process, and we are giving this insight, like you're saying, to the manufacturing. They will get the idea by themselves, saying, okay, this specific line, low KPI, definitely old machine, I need to do something. We just highlight it to the surface and provide them
But I would
with
imagine
information.
some manufacturers will be happy to share that information, and others that won't.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. It's just an interesting concept. So
I was just going to add, I don't think we've ever seen a machine in our manufacturers, for example, that's just malfunctioning and just totally missing its specs.
Yeah.
I think it's like each maker of the equipment knows this is what their sweet spot, but the manufacturer may or may not be using it in that way, right?
That's true.
They may
Depends on how
have
they use
bought it for use case A, but now they're running a different kind of product. They did have more high volume, now they have lower volume. And so we can surface those deltas and help them decide, sell this machine and buy another, move it to a different site. And that's part of a good natural process.
Or optimize the configuration so you're going to get better performance out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's move on to the other part here, which is action management. What is that?
Want to talk about it a bit? We're not gonna talk too much yet. So action management is a new, very exciting product that all of our top customers have been asking for, and it's in beta right now with a couple of our leading customers, Flex Harmon, a number of others. When you think about what is the Insight library, it's all the data pulled together into, again, a dashboard, a report, but a specific one that says, this is a good way to look at attrition. This is a good way to look at a bottleneck. Now, what you'd really love is for a system to be able to say, of the 20 different problems I could be looking at, right now, look at this one.
Right.
And you in the factory, this engineer here, you look at it and tell me when it's solved. And if you could go even one step further, here's what you need to do. Here is the top 3 steps that an expert, told you to take. So
you're dialing into this mix, the qualifications of the engineers that are in the factory, to say, well, we have this potential issue here, and that guy is qualified to be able to go and fix it or look at it.
We're in the midst of a huge shortage of expertise.
Absolutely,
right? Like teams are turning over every single year. People are expected to be able to get up to speed faster than they ever were before. And so anything that we can do to help drive actions, right? Not just insight, but action with expert knowledge is exactly what our customers want. So that's the next big thing that we'll talk about more. We like to talk about things when they're launched fully. That's our culture at Arch. So if it's okay, I'll stop there.
So when can we expect to hear more on that? And are we looking mid-year? Are we looking at end of the year?
Yeah, mid-year for sure, we'll have early results from our top customers. Mid-year, I expect we'll be rolling this out to a larger set of customers. So.
Okay.
If I can add just one sentence, I mean, if I'm looking at the graph right now, so one of our tools, the React, is doing the what? What's happening in the line? I have a downtime. The insight is the what? It's a machine, it's a nozzle. And the action management is the how you solve that.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, I mean, it's certainly a very interesting and dynamic space at the moment. And I love the work that you're doing here. So thank you for sharing that with us today, Andrew and Gary. And we look forward to hearing the big announcement mid-year.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Arch FX manufacturing platform. Processing over 1 trillion data points each month. Bringing value to every level of your organization. That's manufacturing insights for tomorrow.